Alright, in problem number 30, we have two graphs. One of them is f of x and one of them is f prime of x. And we want to label them appropriately, which is which. So I've written some very simple notes over here. When f of x is increasing, then f prime of x should be positive because the slope of the line is the derivative. So if the slopes are positive for some place, then the derivative should be a positive value. So let's take a look here. On this curve here, this curve is decreasing all the way from, that appears to be -9, all the way down to between -6 and -7. So since that is decreasing there, the derivative function should be negative. But look over here, the other function is positive for this whole place. The other function is positive almost the entire way. So the red function cannot be the original function because its slopes are decreasing, but the other function is positive there. So the red function, that's enough to tell me red is not f of x. Alright, so that's one reason. I could look for other reasons along there too, but that's one that definitely tells me. Here's another place over here. This curve here is decreasing. All along this way over here. But the other function, for all the time that this is decreasing, the other function is positive. Not the slopes are always positive, but the values of the function are positive all along here. So that tells me again the red function is not the f of x and the other function is not the derivative, so it has to be the opposite of that. And so red is not f of x, then red must be f prime of x, and green must be the original function. Well, let's take a look at that then. Alright, so if green is the original function, then notice, not green, now the light gray is the original function. All along here, the slopes are positive, which means that the other function should be positive for all values going down to -8, and it is. After that, the function turns and has a negative slope. It's still positive, but its slopes are negative, and its slopes are negative all the way over to -5. Look at the other function. For all the while that the slopes of the red curve are negative slopes, the other function is actually negative in value, all the way coming up to -5. At that point, the red curve goes up, is increasing, which means that the green curve should be positive all along that way, and it is positive until red turns and heads downward or starts decreasing, has negative slopes, and at which point the derivative curve goes into the negative below the x-axis and becomes negative. So I hope that's clear. There are many other ways that we're going to look at this, but this is as convincing with a small amount of work as possible. So that will do it for this video.